Now, when you're ready for something bigger than the little knives, the Bowie knife, or the survival knife, you move to the mid-level type of blades. The mid-level blades, um, probably one of my favorites because they're just long enough to be an extension of your arm to make contact, but they're not long enough for you to double over, lose control, and use swiping methods, in other words. What I'm talking about, literally, is right here. This is a katana, but it's a guardless katana. You use it the same way as you would use any katana. Same way, flip, back, forward, back, flip. Same way, turn, swipe, but it's small enough for you to use the one swipe. So it's the same way you can use one swipe. It's the same way you would use a Filipino stick. Same way you would use a screamer. You can use this the same way. Now, it being a katana, it also has that sharp, very sharp point at the tip here for slicing, stabbing, and impaling. It does not have a blood groove on it like most katanas would have, and it does not have a guard like most katanas would have. It does have the wrapping for grip and sageo point, and it is 440 stainless steel. This is for more range combat. The close counter combat that you saw, the blades that I had earlier, those are more for close contact. This is more for a range contact. I would say I'm about a foot and a half from the camera contact. Move it back. I'm about 2.5 foot contact. Push it back. Now I'm about 3.5, 4 feet away. Contact. So from 4 feet away, I can still make contact with this. Now, if I'm using two-handed contact, if I'm using one hand, my body can lean. See? Now I have another 4 to 5 inches of distance. So I can lean and make contact, or I can use one hand and contact. So now it gives me the ability to make longer moves. So if I'm spinning, I can touch. And if I'm swiping, I'm going to be out of range. So, like I said, longer range combat, still close, but longer range combat than the knife, handheld knives. Now, you could throw this. I don't know why you would. Except for in terms of desperation, I wouldn't throw it. But it being dark and pleated on the skin, it's really easy too. Slide over your shoulder to hit behind, even if you're flipping and you're upside down. Now this is one of my favorites because from this point, even if you go by somebody, you're still slicing and making contact. Making that elbow that you normally do, now an actual blade. So now when you do your elbow, and if it's in the dark, you're barely going to see that. But in that elbow, as you're moving and you're fighting and you're moving back and forth, now that elbow is 100% lethal. And that's what that little katana is for. Now, you still can use two hands. It helps to follow through with the thrust, or if you're trying to go through your target, not stopping at it. Single hand, like I said, you get the further range of motion along with the contact. And it does have, like I said, the tip where the katana penetrates. And a lot of people's like, hey, is that thing really soft? Or is that thing really sharp? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So yeah, she is sharp. Very sharp. And that would be one of my short katana.